I had a mess up the last time. Darius Rucker sang the national anthem, and I got to know him prior to the 17 game. So when he finished, I was kind of excited about how it was all put together, and I jogged out to the middle of the field, and I forgot about God Save the Queen. And then I sat there at the 50-yard line, just kind of like a cat burglar caught, and took my visor off and then was embarrassed. So I'll make sure to be prepared for the second anthem.
That was Sean Payton this week in London. That's a great story. And what do you do? What do you do? I mean, really, we've all been in that situation where we know we are somewhere we are not supposed to be, and we hope that we can somehow go unnoticed until the awkward moment passes. Parker Gabriel covers the Broncos for the Denver Post. He is currently in London getting ready for Sunday's game. Parker, thanks for some of your time, pal.
Yeah, you bet. Happy to be here.
Now, first question, this is the most important one. On the flight to London, was anyone doing high knees in the aisle of the plane?
My back was getting a little stiff, so I did some calisthenics up and down the I only bumped and woke up a couple people, I think. So,
but when you think about it, they really did have an unusual travel arrangement. Left for London the evening after a pretty intense game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you have guys who were banged up at all during that game, that's a long time to be stuck in that tube flying across the ocean.
Yeah, it is. And they left for Philadelphia on Friday afternoon from Denver. So this is a really long trip, obviously, for the Broncos. And then you're exactly right. In fact, they had to make a couple of decisions after the game. Ben Powers tore his bicep. Jarrett Stidham and his wife were expecting their third child. So they actually Powers isn't here. He had surgery and is recovering in Denver. But, Stidham flew back to Denver and then to London. They signed a guy to the practice squad. They had to get to London. So all these logistics happen when you play overseas, and then playing on the East Coast before you go just sort of adds another layer to that. So they did meetings and had dinner back at their team hotel after the game, then got on the plane about 10 p.m. Eastern or so and flew across.
Sunday's win was the biggest Broncos victory since when?
The Super Bowl in 2016, February of 2016, probably. I mean, they haven't been in contention much since then. Maybe if they would have got it going in 2022 in Russell Wilson's first year, there would have been a comparable. But to me, obviously they ended the playoff drought last year. Even getting into the playoffs, though, was anticlimactic because they beat Kansas City's JV in Week 18 to punch their playoff ticket. So I think it's only the second win Sean Payton's had here against a team that you'd think is going to finish the season with a winning record. So to me, it's probably the biggest since they won the Super Bowl.
And I assume that Sean Payton has already started we haven't done anything yet. Now that the tide is turning, because there's a lot of winnable games coming up. And really, if they lose at any point before they play the Chiefs the first time, it's going to be an upset. But they still got to go out and do it. And if you start getting a big head, and I can hear Payton saying all those things aimed at getting the players not to trip over their own 2 feet, that's the challenge now. They've gotten through a rough part of the schedule, and it should be smooth sailing.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.